Hello and welcome to Gap Stories. We focus on hidden and lost stories and try to fill in the gaps. Although these stories can't be considered accurate history, they are geared towards being as accurate to history as possible. Our goal isn't to rewrite history, but to portray history in a realistic way. Even documentaries have to embellish in order to push the story along. If you don't agree with the historical aspect, that's fine. This is mainly for entertainment purposes. But make no mistake, our goal is to stay as close to history as possible. Hit the like button and thanks for watching.
Whispers of doubt fade in Temple of Ra. Day. Sunlight streams through ornately carved windows, illuminating the gold-plated statue of Ra, the sun god. Hor-aha, 40s, stands before the statue, clad in white linen robes, performing a ritual offering. Jer, 10, stands beside him, wide-eyed and curious.
This is an ancient hymn to Ra. Now is the time to praising his power and seeking his continued favor.
Will he hear us?
If our hearts are pure and our faith strong, then yes. The gods are always watching. This is just a small part of Kemet, Egyptian religion, Jer. There are countless stories of gods and goddesses, each with their own domain and purpose.
Like Osiris, the god of the underworld?
Indeed. He represents the cycle of life and death, the hope of rebirth in the afterlife.
Their conversation is interrupted by a soft cough. Benarib, 30s, regal but with a hint of sadness, stands at the entrance, her eyes downcast.
My apologies for interrupting your devotions.
Benarib, there's no need to apologize. Come, join us.
Benarib hesitates, then walks towards them. Her gaze lingers on the statue of Ra, a flicker of longing crossing her face.
Mother, were you worried about us?
Always, my little Pharaoh. Perhaps I should have brought offerings too, to appease Ra for my shortcomings.
What shortcomings, Benarib?
A beat of silence hangs between them, tears welling in her eyes.
Another night, another prayer unanswered.
Hor-aha takes her hand, his touch warm despite the chill in the room.
We will not lose hope, my queen. The gods have a plan, even if we cannot see it.
But how much longer must we wait? My womb remains barren, a tomb for our dreams.
You are wrong, my queen Benarib. You are not empty. You are a mother.
He gestures towards DJ 20, strong, intelligent, enters, his dark eyes wide with concern. He reassures his stepmother.
Mother, you are my mother as well. You are the sun that warms me, the Nile that nourishes me. I need you.
Thank you, my son. Thank you for being my light. I need you as well. Kenthap is a lucky woman and so am I. You make us both proud mothers.
Hor-aha watches them, a bittersweet smile gracing his lips. He steps forward and places a hand on Jer's shoulder.
You are a good son, Jer. And Benarib, a remarkable mother. But a mother nonetheless.
But I long to feel life quicken within me, to bear your child, Hor-aha, an heir, flesh of your flesh, to carry the legacy of Kemet.
Our legacy lives on in Jer, in the work we do for Kemet. But I understand your yearning, my love. It is a yearning I share. Perhaps the gods are testing us. Perhaps they are asking us to find strength in what we have and not just what we lack.
You are right, my king. We will not succumb to despair. We will continue to rule with wisdom and compassion and trust that the gods will bless us in their own time.
Hor-aha smiles, genuine this time. He pulls her close, and they stand there for a long moment, a portrait of love and resilience in the face of adversity.
May I have a hug, Mother?
Benarib and Hor-aha exchange a glance. She smiles, the sadness receding from her eyes.
Of course, my son. Come, let us find comfort in each other.
They settle back on the divan, a family united by love, a beacon of hope in the vast desert night.
We are glad you're enjoying the show. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button for us ladies. Please?
The shifting sands of power. Royal gardens. Day. Sunlight filters through the lush foliage of the royal gardens, dappling the path where King Horaha, 60s, regal but showing signs of age, walks with Benarib, 40s, strong, intelligent, with a hint of hidden ambition. Laughter spills from Hor-aha's lips as Benarib recounts a tale from the barracks.
And there he was, Private Thoth, stuck upside down in a well, shouting for his mummy.
Hor-aha throws his head back and roars with laughter, a sound that once boomed across battlefields but is now tinged with a wheeze. Benarib smiles, a touch of possessiveness flickering in her eyes.
You should see the recruits these days, sire. Soft as figs compared to your generation.
We were a different breed in my day, that's for sure. Though, I wouldn't mind a touch of that youthful vigor right about now.
Perhaps you should return to your chambers, sire. You shouldn't exert yourself too much.
Nonsense. A little fresh air does wonders for the soul. Besides, I enjoy our talks, Benarib. You always know how to make me laugh.
Their eyes meet, a spark of something more than friendship passing between them. Marketplace. Day. The bustling marketplace hums with activity. Vendors hawk their wares, children chase each other, and a group of men gather around a storyteller recounting tales of Hor-aha's legendary victories.
And King Horaha, with a roar like a lion, cleaved the enemy general in two.
The men cheer, their faces filled with admiration. A young woman, Adieta, 20s, sharp-tongued, observant, watches from a nearby stall, a frown marring her brow.
Always the same stories. They never mention Queen Benarib.
Some things are best left unsaid, child.
Uncomfortable truths, more like. The Queen may not have borne him an heir, but she deserves more respect than to be forgotten.
The old woman shushes her, casting a nervous glance around. Adieta rolls her eyes but falls silent. Royal Court. Day. The royal court buzzes with hushed whispers. Hor-aha sits on his throne, looking pale and drawn. Benarib stands beside him, her hand resting possessively on his arm. Jer, 20s, tall, stoic, now a young man, watches from a distance, his jaw clenched.
The king looks terrible. How much longer can he go on?
And who is that woman by his side? Never seen her before.
Enough. Show some respect.
The Serpent's Whisper. Royal Palace. Day. Sunlight streams through a dusty window, illuminating swirling motes of dust. King Horaha, 60s, gaunt, his eyes dull, sits slumped on his throne. Kenthap and Benarib, 40s, their face etched with worry, kneels before him, holding a cool compress to his forehead.
My king, you mustn't push yourself. The healers say you need rest.
Rest. No, I can't rest with haters talking greasy behind my back.
Just ignore them fools, sire. They are nothing but whispering haters. Heavy is the crown.
They say I am too old, too weak to rule. That Kemet needs a stronger hand. Like I don't got sauce.
They are fools. You are the Lion of Kemet. A lifetime of service deserves respect, not doubt. Forget the haters.
Hor-aha coughs, a rattling sound that echoes in the vast chamber. He wipes his mouth with a shaky hand.
Respect. Perhaps. But whispers can turn to roars if left unchecked. I need to show them I am still their king. I will show them who got the sauce.
How? You are in no condition to...
There is a ritual, an ancient test of strength. A pharaoh must wrestle a live crocodile to prove his worth. I got this. My swag ain't left. I am still me.
crocodile, sire. That's madness. You could be seriously injured, even killed.
Then let them see me face death with the same courage I faced my enemies. It is time to silence the vipers, Benarib. I would rather face death than my people doubting me. Let the games begin.
He stands tall, a flicker of his former fire rekindled in his eyes. Benarib hesitates, then nods grimly. Nile riverbank, day. A large crowd gathers along the Nile's bank, a mixture of curiosity and trepidation etched on their faces. Jer, 20s, face grim, stands at the forefront, his gaze fixed on a wooden platform built over the water's edge. Hor-aha, clad in ceremonial garb, steps onto the platform, his movements slow but determined. A large crocodile, its scales glinting in the sun, thrashes within a fenced enclosure.
Pharaoh Hor-aha, are you prepared to face the test of Sebek?
I am. Let this silence all the doubters and haters.
The cage is raised. The crocodile lunges, a prehistoric maw agape. Hor-aha stumbles back, his staff clattering to the ground. A gasp ripples through the crowd.
Father, no. You don't have to do this.
But Hor-aha stands his ground. He avoids the crocodile's initial snap, the beast's jaws snapping shut with a bone-jarring crunch. A tense dance ensues, Hor-aha using his experience to dodge the snapping jaws while the crowd holds its breath. Suddenly, Hor-aha sees an opening. He lunges forward, grappling with the crocodile's rough hide. With a cry that echoes across the Nile, he manages to twist the creature's body, forcing it back into the water. The cage is lowered with a splash. The crowd erupts in cheers, relief and awe warring on their faces. Hor-aha stands panting, his body shaking, but a triumphant smile spreads across his face. Jer rushes towards him, his eyes filled with a mixture of anger and relief.
You shouldn't have done that. You could have died.
And so could Kemet's faith in its king.
Jer looks at the cheering crowd, then back at his father. A grudging respect flickers in his eyes. Benarib steps forward, a satisfied smirk playing on her lips. Hor-aha leans on her arm, his victory short-lived as a wave of dizziness washes over him. This story is to be continued. If you like what you see, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also hit the notification button to be notified when the next episode is dropped. Also share this video with your friends. Why? Because this ish is dope. Tune in for the next episode of Gap Stories.